All right, it is time to update one of my newer projects. This is a project that I introduced last month. It is called That 70's Pan. Before I get into all of the goodness of this project, I'm going to ask you to please do all of the things. You know what they are. Kind of stumbled over that there. All right, so the hashtag for this is hashtag That 70's Pan 70, the numbers. It was created by Cece, who is a diva next door, and Kim from Teacher Loves Beauty. They did this in collaboration with the Fantastic Ladies group on Facebook. All of that's linked in the description box. You know this. Now, what they decided to do was just do a gigantic homage to the 70's, and they brought in 70 prompts. I mean, the amount of work they put into this is just insane, but the fact that we're all taking on 70 prompts is also somewhat insane. Okay, so they suggest that you start with 7 items and then do whatever you want. Well, okie dokie then. This is running from 7/27 of 23 to 7/27 of 24. All right. I decided that what I was going to do is I'm going to bring in 7 prompts every month, no matter what I have or haven't finished. And then I was reading some of the different comments, and I think it was Cece, but I'm not certain, that said that what she was doing is putting things in for a 7 usage goal, just to stick with the theme. I didn't do that when I started, but I'm kind of trying to incorporate that for ongoing usage. So let's talk about, and actually I think I might modify some of my stuff that I put in the first month to meet that, just so that I'm consistent. Okay, I know that screws things up from the intro, but that's going to make more sense. So first one is linoleum floors. This is something with a pattern. I brought in this BH, this is the Vanilla Cream Truffle Blush palette. It does have a mirror. That's annoying. I have pretty much worn away the pattern in the first one, so I went to the second one, and I thought, okay, well, I'll just dull down the pattern because I didn't know how to set a goal, and I think I'm going to make it a 7 uses goal just because that makes it easier. So far, I've only used it 3 times. Okay, so that's what it looks like on the finger. Okay, we'll do this nice and heavy because I want you to be able to see these swatches. So that's what it looks like on the hand. Yeah, this is going to be a mess. When aren't I a mess? I was just thinking about the previous video that I filmed and realized I missed half the stuff that was in it. So editing me is going to have a really good time. All right, so that's staying in. Then the next thing I have is the Glam Light, or no, it's Beanbag Chair, something you're comfortable using. I went with Glam Light. So I did the Glam Light Michaela Pot 2, and I decided that I was going to do 4 looks with this. I have done 2. All right. So I have done all of these shades, row 4, and then I actually did all of these shades for row 5. Now, I'm not going to swatch these all for you here. You've seen this before. You know what this is. This is a lovely palette. A lot of people have it. I've used it for palette bingo. That's annoying. And I kind of figured that I was going to do 3 basic rows. I'm going to do the green, the purple, and the blue. And then from there, I want to pull together and just pull some fun stuff. So I, like I said, have gotten 2 done. That is staying in the project, and that's got to go away because I can't stand that sound. So that is that prompt. Then we have got wood paneling as number 3. This is something brown or something that is a dupe or a fake of the original. I went with brown, and I brought in an old Bath and Body Works Warm Vanilla Sugar body. What is this? Body cream. It's a lotion. I don't know what it is. And I actually said I was going to put this in for 14 uses. I have gotten 9. I don't know how much is left in this. Not a ton. So we're going to do maybe finish 14 uses, whatever comes first, but this is getting really old and kind of needs to go. So that's the plan with that. That's just going to stay in. And I'm going to leave that goal as it is. Okay, then, and I don't know if I told you, I actually am just going down the list in order because it just seemed to make the most sense. So that's what we're doing. So 4 is Crocheted Blanket, Granny Squares, something old. For that, I brought in my Laura Geller blush in Como. This is a baked blush in Brighton, and this years ago broke. So you do have pan in there a little bit. And I had brought it in for 10 uses. I am going to change that to 7 for the sake of making my life easy. This is also another item that only has 3 uses on it. I love this blush. I was so bummed because when it broke, I couldn't replace it. So this is going to be one of those, when it's gone, it's gone. But you can tell it's a lighter, more of a baby pink from the BH blush. I have way too many blushes and projects too, so changing these to 7 does not break my heart. All right, then we've got lava lamps, something liquid or neon, and I brought in this Sally Hansen Instant Dry Nail Polish from the Peeps collection in yellow. It's kind of a neon yellow. So that's why I brought it in. I only brought this in for 2 uses. I haven't used it yet, so I'll get you a picture when I put it on. And I'm thinking I might use it as a base for something too. But anyway, whatever I do, I'll let you know. Then we have shag carpeting, something ugly. I kind of had to work with this one just a little bit. So my theory was I brought in the BH Venom palette, and I brought it in because snakes are kind of ugly. What can I say? I had to stretch. Although the palette is gorgeous. That's what it looks like. It's kind of the grayish silver. Got a couple of well, that's kind of a cream, pinky cream. You guys can't see these colors very well, but we've got a little bit of like a burgundy one in the middle down here, and then, you know, some kind of taupey. Anyway, this I actually did do no pan left behind. I hit my goal. Most of it you saw in a Day of the Dead look. So this is going to roll out and roll back into my collection. We're just going to call that good. I'm not going to swatch that just simply because otherwise I'm going to be to the elbows in eyeshadow. So if you want to see some of that, you can probably check out, you can check out my eyes update next month. I'll swatch everything. You'll see it. You'll see it then. But anyway, so this is a finished prompt and it's rolling out. Yay, we've got one. Okay, so the 7th item on the list is huge TVs, something large. I brought in the Scooby-Doo and Glamlight palette. Oh, there, yeah, you can see the... I could have brought this in for Scratchy, because I hate that feeling, but I didn't realize Scratchy was coming up, and this is probably one of the largest palettes I have with 25 shades. So, I am doing 5 looks with this palette. So far, all I have gotten done is the bottom row. I've hit a couple of blue looks lately, which is not something I generally go for. But I kind of figured with this, I don't know what I'm going to do with this because this is a weird yellow. But I'm going to kind of try and get the rose, a tealish, kind of a grungy, maybe olive green. Obviously, the pink and purple thing that I do constantly, that's a piece of cake. I just haven't done it. And then we're going to do something peachy, orangey, reddish. I don't know. We'll figure it out. Basically, I just want to be able to touch everything in this at least once. So I figured 5 looks for this project was a good way to do that. So that is where we are with what I have got going on currently in the project. That means I am bringing in the next 7 prompts. And I love these. It's actually making me think to try and kind of figure some stuff out. And because I'm not really, I read them over and I looked at them all, but I didn't really like plan ahead going, oh, well, prompt number 46 is this. And I didn't do it that way. I was like, okay, how am I going to tackle this? That became my immediate concern. And I thought, okay, let's just do this the smart way. And like I said, now I'm actually getting some smarter tips from other people to modify things, but that's okay. So number 8 is statement stone fireplaces, something rough, gray, large, or all 3. All right, I decided I'm bringing back my NARS eyeshadow from, this was in Throwback 30 last year. This is from the Zareen duo that they did. And it was a buff color, which is gone. And then this color, which is actually kind of my birthstone color, the way that they describe it. It's supposed to be a bluish gray. Got a little bit of sparkle. It is my ideal gray. I love this eyeshadow. 2 pieces. So I'm bringing it back in for 7 uses. Because I want to, and I can, so I am. All right, then the next thing is alarm clocks, something that clicks. It took me a minute to figure this out, and then I found 2 things, so I got a choice even, which was very, very nice. I am bringing in the Sephora Melting Lip Clicks, lippy, and this is in the shade 04 Cotton Candy. That's what it looks like. This is really, hi Luce, really balm-like, and the bottom clicks up. So that is what the color is. And I'm going to bring this in for 7 uses, which I may end up using it more. I really haven't gotten to use that, although when I got it, I was like, oh, I love this. This is going to be great. It's going to be better than like those Juicy Tubes or whatever. I don't know. I wasn't super fond of those, but this I actually only have used a couple times and did like it. So we'll see how I feel when I get done with my 7 uses. Then number 10 is pattern paper. Bold, geometric shapes, bright, contrasting colors. And I think what they meant was you could kind of go for any combination thereof within that concept. So I am bringing in my LYS, fingerprinted. This is the Aim High highlighter in the triangle packaging. This is in the shade Genuine. This is the rose gold one. So we're going to bring this in for 7 uses. And it may be this palette. It may be depending on how much. Okay, now there you really do have a good rose gold. Normally I don't get that much of the orangey-ish color in there for the rose. I have this in Arizona too. So this is one of those things that it doesn't really matter when or where I get my uses because I don't have to travel with it. That makes me happy. Trying to start planning ahead. All right, number 11 is Sunken Living Rooms, something with a dip or a pan. For that, I went back to that palette that I have where I had potted all of my NARS duos. This one, I don't know if you can tell that it's got a nice big dip in it. Yeah, you can see that there's a dip there in the middle. This is from Kuala Lumpur. That was the duo. It has a darker rose pink, burgundy pink, something like that. But this is the lighter shade, and there's a huge dip in this pan. I mean, my finger just fits right in perfectly. So that is what this shade looks like. And it's a very light, pale, fair shade, okay? Yeah, I mean, you can barely see it. This works really well for me as a base setting shade. It doesn't do a whole lot more than that. I could build it a little bit, but it doesn't give me like color. So I'm bringing that in for 7 uses. Then number 12, Floating Staircase, something you consider dangerous. This one stumped me, and I thought, oh, what the crap is dangerous? So I found something, and I went by the name. I am bringing this in. This is one of the Urban Decay Shine lipsticks, and it's in Love Trap. I thought, well, okay, that kind of works. We'll go with that. These are the really balmy ones. Oh, gorgeous. So this is coming in for 7 uses. I love these. I am so glad that I actually found another reason to put this into a project because it's one of my newer ones. It's one of my favorite ones. Probably finish that before the old stuff. Go figure. Okay, 13, TV dinners, an all-in-one product. I kind of already brought in one that was something that I was thinking of using for this, but then I needed it for something else. So I thought, okay, well, I'll go find something else. And I happen to have this. This is an old Laura Geller thing. It came in a book. There were 3. It was Friday Fun Day. I don't know, Saturday Style and Sunday something. I have Saturday Style here. And on the inside, it actually says, I wish every day was Saturday. This is one that I have used. It does have a mirror, but there. So it's a little bit loved, but what it has is 4 eyeshadows, a blush, and a highlighter. And I thought, well, that's all in one, right? That's a nice, easy travel thing. Now, these are named. So we've got Pure Linen, City Shadow, and those are very light. La La Lavender. Oh, wow, you can barely see these. And then this one is Stormy Skies. Now, that's got some punch to it. And that is, okay, blue. I don't know how well these are going to show up. Because, like I said, they're pretty darn light. So you almost have to be standing next to me with them on my eyes to see them. So that's the linen. Jeez, can you tell there's anything there? You can barely tell there's something there. And then you can see the rest of them at least. So those are the eyeshadows in the palette. And then we have got Pink Popsicle Blush and Mineral Ice Highlighter. Okay, those are really kind of fun. If I do it here, you can just a very little bit of shine for that highlighter. It's not anything crazy. And then that blush is a really me color. So I'm bringing this in for 7 uses, and how I'm going to do this is touching a pan as a use. Now, there's 6 things in here. So that means I'm not going to just touch this once. I'm going to have to touch it more, which means I'm going to probably get more uses. I'm just going to keep track of what I actually do. Because what I'll do is I'll throw this in my travel bag and just take it with me on my trip. So I figured that was a good idea. And then finally, the last thing that I am bringing in is number 14. This is rattan furniture, something scratchy, package or product. The Scooby-Doo collection with that. I don't even know what those things are called. I can't even remember. But where they shift from one image to another. Well, those are plastic and they're ridged, so they're scratchy. And I hate the sound of nails across that. It actually makes it hard for me to use some of it. But I came up with another idea since I already have so much stuff in there. And we're going to go with the Tree Hut Cotton Candy Shea Sugar Scrub, because this is an exfoliating product, so therefore it's scratchy. This is something that hasn't been in a project. I've just been using it. So this is what we've got left in it. It smells lovely. And I'm going to put this in 7 uses or finish because I don't know what I'm going to end up doing. So I took the weight of it currently, and it is 332.7 grams. I'll just keep track of uses and let you know where we're at when we get to that. All right, so that is taken care of. Now, here's the sitch. I'm going to give you a music moment, but I'm going to give it to you in a little bit of a different way. Because there are so many songs, because of the way that I'm doing this, I actually went through and started writing things down and kind of made a list of some of the top songs from the entire decade of the 70s. I know I just brought Head East in solo last time because that just was what popped into my head. But I thought, oh, okay, well, let's talk about the top songs from each year. Okay, there's a lot. And now what I am going by is a specific website compilation thing, and it is called rockvf.com. So I'm not going to link everything in the description box like I normally do for videos. What I will probably do is just give you maybe I'll write out a list of songs or something for each year, and just keep adding to it so you'll have all of the music moments in my description box, and I'll just add to it and update with the new songs each month. But there are so many that came up that I'm just going to run through a couple of them for you now, just to kind of give you an idea of what was getting a lot of play at the time, so you kind of have the mindset. That was my thinking. So you've got Bridge Over Troubled Water by Simon and Garfunkel. You have My Sweet Lord by George Harrison, which ended up being quite the problematic song down the road, as we know. Now we've got some Beatles in here, so Let It Be is in there. Neil Diamond's making an appearance with Cracklin' Rosie. There is an Elvis Presley song in here still. So The Wonder of You was on the charts. This one is a great one. The Partridge Family makes it on here with I Think I Love You. And then the British Invasion still going strong. One of my favorite bands is the Kinks. We've got Lola was making the charts at this time. Now, for some of the mainstream rock, you've got American Woman by the Guess Who, which is a great song with Burton Cummings doing the lead. Come and Get It by Badfinger. 25 or 6 to 4 by Chicago, which Chicago tends to run a little lighter rock in my opinion, but this one is a bit more mainstream of their songs without just being a ballad, I guess is kind of how I think of them. There's a few, like No Matter What by Badfinger shows up in here. You've got The Long and Winding Road by the Beatles, so you got a couple in there with them. Let's Work Together by Canned Heat. That's a good throwback 70s ballad song. Your Song by Elton John. And then we got Voodoo Child by Jimi Hendrix Experience. So I think that James Taylor's showing up, guys. Fire and Rain. I think that gives you a range of everybody that's kind of making... Lonely Days by the BeeGees. I want that in there too. there's some CCR, there's some other stuff, but that's giving you some of the light rock, some of the mainstream rock. You've still got, like I said, the Kinks are, a British import. Badfinger is one of my favorite bands, so finding out which of their songs was on the charts was always, always fun. Simon and Garfunkel, that's a song I think everybody knows. And that was way up there. So there's some good stuff in here. Like I said, All Right Now by Free. That's a very 70s band for you. I'm going to stop reading because otherwise my list is going to be 75 songs long. But that gives you an idea of the breadth, depth, and range of what was going on in 1970 musically, of the things that you would be hearing on the radio, because that's how you were hearing music. You were running to your local record store or sometimes drugstore, picking up those 45s because you had heard the song on the radio. All right, that's what I'm giving you. And like I said, I'm not going to link all these videos. I will give you just a list of different, artists and the song titles. And if you want to go check them out, by all means, please do so. Thank you so much for giving me some of your time and letting me ramble. I truly appreciate it. So look forward to next month when I bring in 7 more items, and we'll see how many of these I can get out of the lineup here, because otherwise I'm going to have a pile of stuff and I'm not going to get through it all. All right, wish me luck. Thank you for indulging me. I truly appreciate your time. And until next time, everybody, see ya. Bye.